What's up, guys? It's Brandon with Team Trap and Tap. We got our trap torture test done, and we got our results. And I started to edit all the videos down, and it's just gonna be a 4-hour long YouTube video. We can't. Who's gonna watch that? So we got to give it to you in this format. Maybe one day I'll break down each test in individual YouTube videos, but for now, just to get the information out. This is how we're going to do it. But the reason we're doing this test is for the new guys. If they come on social media and ask, hey, what's the best trap? They're going to get about 100 comments, and they're going to have people arguing back and forth of what the best trap is. And they're going to leave. The guy who asked the question is going to be way more confused than before he asked it, because there's so many opinions and just thought processes on these traps. But for some reason, it constantly gets asked, and we're relatively new guys, so that's why we wanted to address this. So the 4 traps that we're doing are the K9 Extreme, the Bridger No. 2 fully modified, the MB 550, and the Duke No. 3. There's a lot of other good traps out there, but these are the main ones we're doing. So. A couple things you got to ask yourself is, hey, what am I doing getting into trapping? What am I doing if you're a new guy? How am I getting into trapping to do it full time? Or am I just trying to hit my little hunting camp to manage the predators? What am I doing? Because there's a lot of money involved in getting started. So with that being said, if you're trying to get into trapping and you're trying to do a lot, as much as you can, which that's what it will turn into. Trapping is the equivalent to crack cocaine. You will sell your kidney if you have to trap. I'm telling you, just wait. But if you're just getting into it, doing a couple 100 acres, and you just want to manage your own property, that's something to consider. You might not want to buy what the pros use. I relate it to, hey, DeWalt in Milwaukee and all that. We use DeWalt mainly in construction. But a Black & Decker will hang a picture just as good inside the house as that DeWalt will. It depends on what you're using it for. You just want to piddle around, or you want to get after it and get it like you live. So that's what you got to ask, how much money you want to spend. K9 Extreme is $240, $250 a dozen. The MB and the Bridger are relatively the same, $200, $205 a dozen. The Duke No. 3 is the most inexpensive at around $115. I paid $104 a dozen for those. That's the question you want. That's a big deal. That's a big difference. You got more time than money, or more money than time. So that's why we're doing the torture test. A lot of guys have kind of made, little slighted remarks about, us doing this test, but it is what it is. If you don't like it, don't watch it, So here's the results real quick. We did a pull-out test with a fish scale and a super stake driver, metal rod. We stuck them in there, eased them in there, didn't slam them on there, and pulled out. The Duke took 31 pounds to start moving that rod. The MB 550 took 30 pounds to start moving the rod. The K9 Extreme took 20 pounds, and the Bridger took 15 pounds. Then we did a blow-up ball test. Now, again, none of these tests are, Discovery Channel like that. I mean, they crude test. I'm a plumber, so I'm gonna get it like I live, and I'm gonna use plumbing stuff. But we did these tests over and over and over and over, and we got consistent results. But the Duke and the MB changed that blow-up ball, moved it 6 psi. The K9 moved it 5 psi. The Bridger moved it 1 psi. So the Bridger's not hitting hard and it's not holding very good. But that don't mean, these are these tests. The Bridger is proven to hold animals. So all these traps will hold an animal. So don't take these results as me dogging anything. Radar test. We put a radar gun on it. I didn't need a radar gun to tell you these results. I mean, when you have all 4 of these and you're setting them off one right after the other, you can see it and you can feel which ones are fastest. But nevertheless, the K9 came in at 26 miles per hour. The Bridger came in at 27 miles per hour. The MB came in at 35 miles per hour, and the Duke came in at 52 miles per hour. Yes, there is that big of a difference. Yeah, I mean, the Duke is light metal. It's cheap metal. It's light, and it's got some bigger springs on it. It's fast as greased lightning. I will note that, you know, it's not laminated, so maybe the pull-out test, that was a factor. Take it for what you want. The bite pressure. We took an old scale, broke it apart. It's not calibrated in pounds, but we closed it down. We just closed it. We didn't let it slam. We just let it close and to see what number it produced. The K9 Extreme, 210. The Bridger, 383. The MB, 390, and the Duke 415. The jaw test, popping the jaws, we don't have this particular test on video, but these popped out. Side swivel, pulling, cheap metal, pulled those right out of the hole, popped them out. The rest of them, we ended up straightening the J-hooks, pulling them out. Center swiveled, pulling them, straighten the J-hook. But I will tell you on this, hate to say we gave anything to anything, but we gave the lead on this to the K9 Extreme because it's obvious. They're bolted in. You know what I mean? They're bolted in. So call that what you will. We gave, because these 3 straighten the J hooks. So how do you take that test and all that? So it's bolted together. It wins. It's gonna have to break them bolts. So it's gonna win over the rest of these. Pan tension, very important test. Very important test. This should tell you everything you need to know. The only one that did not change after sitting for a couple of weeks is the MB550. It does not have a pan tension screw. The rest of these change. The rest of them change. That's all you need to know. There are modifications you can do to these. You know, no matter what you do, they're gonna change. Like this K9 Extreme. You know, there's a modification on Down South Trappers and Lonely Den Trapping. There's 3 guys I know that has made these videos of how to change. They grind that down and make that smaller. See how wide it is? They make it like half the size. But look that up. Robert Savon, Sean Phillips, and I think Jacob Parker, made those. So, but that's a big deal to me, paying attention. I've used K9 Extremes. I've used some Bridger. I have never used the Duke on my trap line. I run exclusively MB550s for the past year or more. I can tell you I've missed dogs to the K9 Extreme due to paying attention, due to it being so bulky that it crust holds it. But these are supposed to be, K9 Extreme, Kendall says, 4 coil. I did the test all 2 coil. But I don't think it was so far removed from the MB and the Duke that the only thing I think it would have helped it on is maybe the blow-up ball test. But even still, the MB won at 20, the Duke came in at 19, this came in at 15. You know what I mean? So the results are still going to be the same. Let's give that blow-up ball test to the K9 Extreme. Let's give it to it. Still don't change the results. the results are what they are. Bridgers came in last. I understand that these results going to have some people, especially the old timers or the trappers, been trapping a while. Bridger faithful is going to come out swinging because they came in last. I'm not dogging them. The canine lovers are going to be just livid because a Duke beat a canine. Do your own test. Put your own test out there. It makes me no difference. These are just the results. Again, guys, I want to drive home. No trap is the best trap. There ain't one trap up here that can say it's the best trap. I have an opinion of which one the best trap, and the test results say the MB550, in my opinion, is the best trap. But if you're financially not able to buy $210 a dozen or whatever, $205 a dozen, but you're financially able to buy $100 a dozen or $110 or whatever it is, that's your best trap. That is your best trap. If financially that is your best trap, if that's the position you're in. There's things I don't like about this trap. It's not laminated. The edges, you're going to have to grind the edges off because it'll cut the crap out of a dog. You know, or whatever you're catching, it's going to cut the crap out of their foot. You say, hey, we're going to shoot them anyway. That's not my style. So there is no best trap. What's the best trap for you? That's for you to decide. Use this information given to decide what's the best trap for you. And I hope this helps. Y'all send me pictures of your catches and y'all get it like you live.